What up, kinfolk? It's your boy Screwface Capone in the house, and I've got a tech and toy unboxing for you. I've been wanting to do more of these, but thing is, I only come across some cool gadgets and shit every once in a while. So whenever I come across them, that's when I do them. So that's why I did the Xbox Series X unboxing last week. So this is actually the first of two unboxings I got coming out this weekend. Next one should be coming up either tomorrow or the next couple days, or sometime in the next couple days. I'm filming these back to back, so they'll definitely be up soon. So anyway, I had a poll on both my Facebook, my Instagram, and my Twitter pages, and this one won out. But don't worry, the second one is coming out very soon. So anyway, I was actually split on whether I wanted to buy this or not. But I saw one of these at Micro Center. Because, like, first of all, like, this thing's like a few years old, so it's probably old hat to a lot of you by now. But I saw this at Micro Center, and, like, they had a package with 2 game pads and the unit itself in it. So I had a gift card from Amazon. Plus, it was on sale at the time, so it might even still be on sale now. But I decided to purchase one. It's called the Player Pro Pack for the Neo Geo Mini. So unlike the Micro Center one, it didn't pack everything in a box, but in like one box. But I did get the unit, and I did get 2 game pads, and I even got a HDMI link, and I'll show you why. So for those of you who don't know, the Neo Geo was an arcade system from SNK, and the idea was it was ran by cartridges. So if you were an arcade operator and you wanted a new game, then all you would have to do was go in, swap out the cartridge, and change it to a new one. Switch up the marquee, switch up the cabinet art, and boom, you had a brand new game. And there are also cabinets that you can run more than one game on, so players can even switch between games. So that definitely brought a lot of value. And there was a home system, the Neo Geo MVS. So this was the first and only system that gave you the exact arcade game. Like, not something that was made to fit on the system, and not something that had some kind of adjustments. You got the same thing that was playing on the arcade. Now, as a result, this made the hardware very expensive. The console itself ended up costing around $600, and that's probably not too obscene. It's expensive. No doubt it's still expensive, but by today's standards, it's pretty tame. But when you factor in that games cost around like anywhere from $200 to $300, I mean, remember, these were using the exact arcade boards, so that made them very expensive. So not a lot of people had the system. If you wanted to play these games and you didn't have them in the arcade, you had to wait until they came to systems like Super Nintendo, Genesis, Sega CD, PlayStation. And of course nowadays they're re-releasing them in like every single form. Like if you got a Twitch Prime subscription, then you can get like a bunch of free Neo Geo games. And Humble Bundle, some years back they had a sale on Neo Geo games. And plus there are like several like even out for Android devices too. So I got Neo Geo games in every different form. You'll learn more about this when I do my King of the Fighters retrospective, and that's something you want to watch out for. So the thing is, everybody's been coming out with their mini system, the NES Classic, the SNES Classic, the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. So SNK decided to throw its hat in the arena a few years ago. And that's what this bad boy is, the Neo Geo Mini. There are actually 3 versions of this. The Japanese version, the international version, which is what this is, and the US version. The Japanese and the US have different lineups. And from what I understand, the Japanese version is more centered around their fighting games. But with the US and international versions, there's a greater variety of game genres. You got the Metal Slug games on there. You've got puzzle games. You've got beat 'em ups like Sengoku 3. There's sports games, Top Players Golf. There's puzzle games like Puzzled. So there's a greater variety of games on here, and that's a good thing, because it's a popular misconception that like all SNK and all that was on Neo Geo was fighting games. It had some pretty good fighting games on there, mind you, but it wasn't just fighting games. So like I said, I got the Player Pro pack, which packed in 2 controllers, these guys right here. And I also got a HDMI cord so I can hook up to the TV. So the difference between the International and the US is, while they have the same game lineup, the International basically has the art and the decoration of the Japanese system. So I kind of thought that the International looks cooler anyway. So that's the one I decided to pick up. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this. But before we do, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. That way you'll be the first to know whenever I put out content. For instance, I'm putting out 2 unboxing videos this weekend, so definitely check it out. And let's open this bad boy up. Alright, so here we are. Couple pieces of tape. One, and here's the other half. All right. Piece of tape here too. And that's off. Yeah, let's see what we got inside. Here it is. Okay, you got that neon blue look, just like the 90s. Huh, this box ain't put too well together, or maybe it's supposed to open like that. Unlike the other mini systems, like you can actually play it on the screen. It's in this little box right here. So this is a charge cable, obviously. It's a micro C one, and these are game decals. Assuming you put them up here, I assume you put them on top of here. Here's the instruction booklet. It's like one of those where they got like stuff in every language. I'd like to see some stuff like that, I don't know, memorabilia and stuff, but I guess getting the system with some games on is good enough. And here is the actual Neo Geo Mini. As you can see, it's not very big. Well, it's not very big, but like the buttons and the joystick are actually reasonably well, are actually pretty well made. Well, joystick's kind of, well, I want to say the joystick's flimsy, because it definitely isn't. Actually, it's pretty durable. So, here is what the unit looks like. Here's some plugs in the back. This is the power on button. And here's where I would assume you would plug up a joypad to. Or maybe you would plug it in here, and you could plug in your headphones for the audio jack. And here's the mini HDMI port. I'm going to open up one of these controllers to see what they look like. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, these controllers are actually modeled after the Neo Geo CD controllers. Neo Geo CD was a short-lived CD spinoff, so that basically had all the games on CD. Most of the games on CD. Here's what you get. And again, you got another control pad. And you got instructions on here. So here's the control pad. The joypad kind of looks funny. And you can click it, actually. I'm not sure there are any games that you could use that would click it. So you got four. You just got the joypad. Start selecting 4 face buttons. It kind of feels weird with a controller that doesn't have like right and left shoulder bump buttons, but then again, neither did the old Neo Geo pad, so I'm okay with that. This analog stick kind of feels weird though. I'll say like that's a bad thing, but like it kind of feels like a cross between an analog nub and a trackpad. So let me see. So like these stickers have some game art on them, so I'm gonna go ahead and paste put these things on them. Watch me mess it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this just right. Okay, I suppose that's good enough. I wonder if I can put this decal elsewhere. Okay, now this is for the thing. So the one on the back is for the USB power cord, and the one on the side is for the controller. You can plug this up to a headset or speaker. Alright. So I'm just going to turn on. So I don't know if it charges, if it has an internal battery, or if I have to have this plugged in to play it. But real quick for comparison, here's my Data East arcade cabinet, and you can learn more about that in the Data East special I did. Click the link on your screen, and here it is standing alongside my cabinet. So it's slightly smaller, but you note the comparisons. Like this is tabletop and this is an actual arcade cabinet, so you can basically play. So it's if you watch the video, then you'll learn more about it. Of course, like this one doesn't let you play it on TV like this one does, but let's hook it up and let's see what this thing looks like so far. I'm gonna plug it up real quick. Give me a second. Now, one thing I should point out is that they don't give you while they give you the charge cable, they don't give you a charger, but you can find chargers anywhere for cheap. Like at Walmart and stuff. So that's not too big a deal for me. Plug that bad boy in. Plug it. Bye. So you got a USB stick. It's not turning on, so here it is. Of course, this thing is, of course, a little bit too bright, so it doesn't actually look. So I can't really get a good look at the screen itself. If you can hear that, then that should pretty much sound familiar to you. Here's the UI. You're stuck using the controller to navigate it. You go to settings. Another little annoying thing is that they don't mark what button is which, I don't think. Oh wait, no, I'm lying. If you look real closely, it is right there, because it's like deep within the grooves. There's start, there's select, there's A, B, C, D. Go to the settings. Let me set this out so I can get a decent... This friggin' flash is killing me. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this up to my video card and we're going to get some footage straight off there. So, we'll be back in a jiffy. Alright, so I am in the I got this hooked up to my live gamer capture card, so I'm going to grab some footage by it. The audio levels in this thing are pretty funny, so if it seems like my voice is drowning out the sound, then I apologize for that. So here's the game menu, and I'm playing this with my joystick and with the unit itself, the joystick. Reason for that being, like while I was recording it, I was trying to record it earlier, and I noticed that like when you plug in the secondary pad, it goes to the second player. So that kind of caused me, and so that's why you can't. So you can't use the second player control pad to navigate the main menus. You got to use the control pad for it, and it doesn't look like there's any way to change that. So that's a bit awkward. But still, let's hop in and check out stuff. Now you can sort these by last played, but that's about it. So let's hop into some like Ghost Pods. I've never seen this game before. There's a little bit of a load time. Obviously, this is a vertical shoot 'em up. Neo Geo had a lot of these types of games too. So right now I'm playing with by holding the unit itself. When you're playing with the unit and it's connected to the HDMI, then the screen actually will show the Neo Geo logo instead of the gameplay, because you're obviously watching the gameplay on the screen. And that kind of makes sense, because usually you're hooking up this to a TV set, whereas I'm doing it to a computer. Yeah, pretty fun game. Alright, so here are your options. You got your save states, and there's the screen options. So you can choose the you can adjust it as you will. There's only a few options, so let's see what these look like. And there's image quality optimization. I'm not sure what exactly this does. Screen size stuff is actually self-explanatory. If you want to get a more like lifelike experience, then that's what it looks like. Let's go back to screen for a moment. If you want something that's like true to the arcade, then Let's try out another game. Last Resort. Football Frenzy. It's always weird when you see a Japanese company do an American football game. Of course, you remember Tecmo Bowl like way back in the days on the NES. And Irene's 10-yard fight. Obviously, there's not going to be any real teams in here. Football Frenzy Tournament.
First quarter. Ready for play.
Vipers versus the Wolves.
There's the kickoff starting the first quarter. First down.
Pass play.
Ready, break. Incomplete.
They broke through my defensive line. Let's try one more.
Ready, break.
I almost made it.
Ready, break.
Won't get it? Ah, damn it. Intercepted me. Lucky bastard. Alright. So that was Football Frenzy. I'm actually going to play one of these with my control pad just to show what I mean. So you can't use your control pad to navigate through the menus. Let's try something like Magician Lore. Oh no, Sengoku 3. One thing I noticed is that they start you off with like 4 or 5 credits, and I'm not sure there's a way to enter more credits, but I'll have to look in the instruction manual. Now this is Sengoku 3. It's made in 2001 and developed by Noise Factory. Now I'm playing this with my control pad, so you see what I mean. They force you into this is actually a Neo Geo game that came out in 2001, so it's pretty interesting. Like the amount of improvement on the same, like this was the same system where a game like Magician Lore came out. So I'm using this with the control pad. The control pad is pretty responsive. I'll say that. But most I will say it kind of feels weird playing with a gamepad that doesn't have 2 shoulder buttons on it. But the Neo Geo only had 4 action buttons and they made that work, so that's okay. Now, analog stick actually, well, I wouldn't say like analog stick because it doesn't work that way, but it's kind of like a weird cross between an analog stick and a trackball. But it doesn't really feel like neither. Like I said before, supposedly it's modeled after the Neo Geo CD, but I've never played it, so I don't really have that frame of reference. But it definitely, but for so far it works. Now I got 2 controllers, so maybe there's a hub or something I can use to hook up 2 control pads to it. I'll have to dig in and do some research. want to play with control pad, it's going to be pretty awkward. Of course, what would a demonstration of Neo Geo games be without a fighting game? So let's pick Fatal Fury, Samurai Showdown. World Hero was perfect. I know a lot of people give this game slack, but this was one of my favorite generic fighting games from back in the days. I used to play the NES version. I used to play Super Nintendo version all the time. Of course, it was only World Heroes 1 and 2 on Super Nintendo. But this is like the version of World Heroes 2 that has like new characters. So you had World Heroes and World Heroes 2, World Heroes 2 Jet, and World Heroes 2 Perfect.
World Heroes Perfect.
And they won't let me use the damn control pad for it. Unless I'm bringing in a 2-player. Oh, there's an MVS mode.
Player select.
Now, I'm wondering if these are the original arcade ROMs, or did he just stick them in home version or something? Well,
Puma versus Rasputin. Round 1, fight.
this had some new mechanics and stuff. It's a bit hard to pull off moves in this game than maybe a game like Fighters. Which actually played earlier on this. Well, no, that's because I've been used to playing games with the joypad all my life when it comes to fighting games.
Round 2, fight.
There we go. Okay, so it's not so bad. Joystick actually is. Just had to get my room going. Neo Geo wasn't known exclusively for fighting games. They did have a lot of fighting games on there that ended up being their bread and butter after they got popular. So it would go without saying that a system should have fighting games on it. And there's also the Neo Geo arcade stick, which actually has 20 games built in. But I think it's either the same price as this or it's more expensive.
Round 1, fight.
So speaking of King of Fighters, what good Neo Geo game would be? What good Neo Geo selection would be complete without some KOF? Let's do King of Fighters. But I accidentally X out there. Now, I first played this game on PlayStation, so it's a bit of a downgrade with this music. I mean, not that it's a bad thing, it's just different. If you ever saw like the improved soundtracks that they did for the PlayStation version of the game, and most of them only came out in Japan. But I remember playing KOF 95 back in the day on PS1. This is the one where you story made its debut. Actually, now that I think about it, the tunes are just as pretty kicky with the Neo Geo version. We got a lot of jazz style tunes here, and Neo Geo really didn't do too bad. It's just that, like, I first heard about PlayStation stuff, and they were just so much better there. Actually, the joystick feels a lot better for the fighting moves than it does in Perfect. Alright, so that's about wraps it up for this. So let's step on out and add in some final thoughts. Alright, so this was the Neo Geo Mini. We unboxed it, we took a look at some of the games, and now we're here. So, one thing I noticed, like literally before I started recording this segment, is that like during the gameplay, you noticed that if I plugged in a I mentioned that if I plugged in a controller to this slot right here, then that would recognize it as a second player controller. However, there's another slot on the other side of the machine, and as you can see, I got my thing plugged into it. And if you plug it into that slot, then it'll recognize it as the first player controller. You can use your controller, you can use the control pad to navigate the menus. So that's a very good thing if you're going to hook this up to a TV. So also you'll notice that the menu is slightly different. If you're not hooked up to a TV, then it is if you are hooked up to a TV, because if you're not, then you got options to adjust the brightness and the volume. So that's a good thing, because I was concerned because there was no way on the unit to adjust the volume yourself, but you got to go within the unit and adjust it, so that's okay. So yeah, there's a lot of options if you want to play by yourself or hook it up to your TV. Now the UI system is bare bones, but and like the only way of sorting is like by last played. But I think the real draw of this unit is the amount of games that are on here and the variety of games. In fact, if you're new to Neo Geo or if you like retro collecting, then I would recommend this over the Japanese unit, unless you really like fighting games. Because like the lineup on here is basically more representative of what you'll find of the kind of software that the Neo Geo was known for. Like it wasn't just fighting games. So what else? Also, you got your usual save states and load states. So that's usually what the bare minimum of what you want to have on these plug and play style stuff. There's nothing fancy like rewind and stuff. So yeah, you got a lot of different options, and there's a good variety of games. So I recommend it. So depending on where you look, like the price hops around anywhere from $100 to $110 to $77. So if you're interested in this, then I would definitely wait to get it at a discount. I was able to get the International Pro Play pack with for $77, and that was before I used my gift card. That was before I used my Amazon gift card, so I got that. So I think that's a pretty good value for Neo Geo games, especially with the way like they usually distribute them nowadays. You'll definitely find some stuff that you really haven't seen before. So yeah, that was the Neo Geo Mini. Let me know what you think in the comments. Click the thumbs up icon if you like what you just saw, and I'll have the second of my 2 unboxings coming up either tomorrow or the next couple days. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. And until next time, I'll see ya. Until next time, I'm out 51,000 G Ken folk, and have a great rest of your weekend.